Hello everyone, I am BowserJrXD, and welcome to the Granite State Derby at Monadnock Speedway, race 4 of 16 for the NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour in 2024. I think that's race 4. We're at New Hampshire for the first time this year, and I missed the first 3 races. Well, I didn't stream them. We had New Smyrna, Richmond, and Thompson. Those are the 3. I didn't stream any of them, although I watched Richmond, and by golly, was Richmond a good race. New Smyrna was also good. But this is the lesser talked about lower division, which is mostly Northeast racing, with the only open wheels in NASCAR. Now, right now, they're going over the starting lineup, but they're going to do something wacky, like they're going to spin a wheel, and then the top whatever number they get are going to repick their spots, which seems stupid. Who would ever willingly sacrifice a position? So right now, they're just going to the starting lineup. So I'm going to go through this top. Okay. Oh, good. Now we can... Hold on a minute. I'm going to actually be able to make this work now. I'm trying to figure out how to make this work a little better. All right. Then just bring my face to the top. All right, change these colors. Where is it? Boom. Okay. So, here's your starting lineup for today's Granite State Derby. I'm only doing up to the top 10.
Roofing number.
I need that to check to make sure I miss the announcement of the redraw. Starting 24th, driving the number 01, Pine Knoll Auto Sales Troyer for Pine Knoll Racing. 31 years old from Wakefield, New Hampshire, Melissa Feifeld. Starting 23rd, driving the number 4, Connolly Companies LLC Fury for Connolly Racing. 63 years old from Endicott, New York, the oldest driver in the field, Tim Connolly. Starting 22nd, driving the number 18, Bowie 1 Seafood and Restaurant Fury for Robert Polifrone. Modifieds typically, if they're not for a team, it's for a single person. 56 years old from Calverton, New York, Ken Hagee. Starting 21st, driving the number 5, Ebersol Excavating Inc. Fury for Bob Ebersol. 33 years old from Hummelstown, Pennsylvania, Kyle Ebersol. Starting 20th, driving the number 81, 1812 Auto Body Troyer for Carrie Ann Wenzel. 20 years old from Granby, Massachusetts, Nathan Wenzel. Starting 19th, driving the number 43, J&M Towing and Recovery, Pudiak Wealth Management, Central Mass Tree LFR for William Kimball Trucking. 21 years old from Bennington, New Hampshire, Matthew Kimball.
Car number 16.
Okay, that's where we're at. Starting 18th, driving the number 15, Dependable Energy and Base Plating Fury for Fueled Up Motorsports. 29 years old from Waterbury, Connecticut, Joey Cipriano III. Starting 17th, driving the number 64, G&G Electrical Supply, AP Marquardt & Sons, Dell Electric, Lumiere Electrical, Andrew James Interiors, Hugh Motors Troyer for KLM Motorsports. 29 years old from Waterbury, Connecticut. 21 years old from Northampton, Pennsylvania, Austin Beers. Had to fix that. Starting 16th, driving the number 84, Catalano Motorsports Troyer for Catalano Motorsports. 19 years old from Ontario, New York, Tyler Catalano. Wait a minute. Okay. Starting 15th, driving the number 92, Nocella Paving, K&D Associates, Airgas LFR for Anthony Nocella. 31 years old from Woburn, Massachusetts, Anthony Nocella.
Fourth today, driving.
Starting 14th, driving the number 58, GAF Roofing Fury for Goody Motorsports. 32 years old from Islip, New York, Timmy Solomito. Starting 13th, driving the number 32 Musco Lighting Northeast Drilling Fury for Dean Ripkema. 27 years old from Owego, New York, Tyler Ripkema. Starting 12th, driving the number 51 Phoenix Communications Inc. Fury for Kenneth Massa Motorsports. 36 years old from Holtzville, New York, Justin Bonsignor. And starting 11th, driving the number 56 Catalano Motorsports Troyer for Catalano Motorsports. 17 years old from Ontario, New York, the youngest driver in the field, Trevor Catalano.
Setting behind the wheel of the elite number 60. Ladies and gentlemen, from Northampton, Pennsylvania, car number 60, Matt Hirschman.
So Matt Hirschman, very fast earlier today, earning that Mayhew Tools Pole Award. He was victorious today. The drivers will start making their way towards the start-finish line if they have qualified inside the top 10 for the redraw. And Matt Hirschman will have the opportunity to come up center stage, where our host, Andy Austin, will take things over in a moment here and run ahead and spin that wheel and determine how many of the top 10 starters we will redraw for starting position here today before beginning the 3rd annual Granite State Derby. And, of course, leading up to the call to post here today. Let's go trackside to Andy Austin.
Thank you so much, Joe Moss. Thank you very much, Joe. As we are here down in
Hi, Orlando
what will be
Lions fan
Victory
club.
Lane. So we
Justin will win?
have
I hope so.
a bunch of numbers on here. Matt, what do you say you give her a spin?
All right. It's either to be the 4, 6, 8, or 10 drivers that will redraw. And for the inaugural wheel spinning for the redraw, it will be the top.
Does it land on 4, 6, 8, 10? There's 6. There's 6. There's 6. Do I see an 8? Do I see an 8?
It will be.
It's on it!
It will be the top 8 drivers redrawing.
Let's bring it on up here.
Starting 10th.
That's a lot
driving
for a
the number
quarter-mile track.
25, Maurice Enterprises Troyer
And
for
this will be
Roby
the first guy,
Motorsports.
Matt.
36 years
Draw
old
this
from
one here.
Sunapee, New Hampshire,
That Hirschman's
Brian
gonna start
Roby.
in position number.
Oh, that's how it
What
works.
you got?
7.
7.
Hirschman is starting. Oh my God.
Anthony Sassoli. Anthony, what you got? What's that?
On the pin.
Big dog. Pole position!
Pole position for Anthony Cecily.
Sure. Kyle Bonsignor, come up. Kyle. Qualified in 3rd. The pole is gone. Outside pole still there. And you get 8.
Awesome.
8.
8th place for Kyle
Craig
Bonsignor.
Lutz. Craig, come on up here. One piece of the front row is still open.
This is so
We got-
stupid.
4.
4.
4th
All
place.
right, works out in the
The
wash.
same for
Looking
Craig
for John
Lutz.
McKennedy. John, come on up. All right.
This is so fucking stupid. But this stream will probably
what you
bleed
got?
into the Truck Series stream.
3.
He called it.
3.
John
3
McKennedy starting
inside
3rd.
of row 2 for John McKennedy.
2nd, 6th, and
Patrick
5th
Everlin.
are still
Patrick,
up,
come on
which
up.
means that the top Emmerling is next.
And you get a 5. Number 5.
All right.
Tommy Catalano. Tommy.
So it's 2nd or 6th is next.
Tom, what you got?
2.
On the outside.
And that means
pole,
that
Tommy Catalano
Jake
and
Johnson-
Johnson. Yeah.
Jake Johnson will get 6th by default. Okay, time to finish. So I kind of yelled out 10th, so redo that. Now, okay, starting, so ignoring the pole speed, which was 11.637 seconds with an average speed of 77.34 miles per hour. Starting 10th, driving the number 25, Maurice Enterprises Fury, Troyer for Roby Motorsports, 36 years old from Sunapee, New Hampshire, Brian Roby. Starting 9th, driving the number 16, Blue Mountain Machine, Future Homes Fury for Hate Yanone Racing, 41 years old from Norwalk, Connecticut, Ron Silk. Starting 8th, driving the number 22, Shalou Performance, MTT, Munz Auto Fury for Kyle Bonsignor, 35 years old from Bayshore, New York, Kyle Bonsignor. Starting 7th, driving the number 60 Elite LFR for PD Motorsports, 41 years old from Northampton, Pennsylvania, the pole sitter, Matt Hirschman. Starting 6th, driving the number 3, Propane Plus, Lynn's Propane Trucks Bowler for Bowler Racing Equipment. 21 years old from Rehoboth, Massachusetts, Jake Johnson. Starting 5th, driving the number 1, Fleetworks Inc. LFR for RGM AZ. 31 years old from Orchard Park, New York, Patrick Emmerling. Starting 4th, driving to number 46, Riverhead Building Supply Fury for Goody Racing. 29 years old from Miller Place, New York, Craig Lutz. And starting 3rd, driving the number 79, Christopher's Towing Fury for John McKennedy. 37 years old from Chelmsford, Massachusetts, John McKennedy. Starting 2nd, driving the number 54, FX Capara Troyer for Catalano Motorsports. 26 years old from Ontario, New York, Tommy Catalano. And on pole, now, driving the number 19, Franzosa Trucking Company, Karchner Warehousing Troyer for Wannick Motorsports. 40 years old from Mattawa, New Jersey, Anthony Cecily. That is your starting lineup for today's Granite State Derby.
Just like the Kentucky Derby is, this Granite State Derby, they are going to be up on the wheel. Fresh asphalt, picturesque here in New Hampshire. It really doesn't get any better than this. An ultimate short track race here at Monadnock Speedway.
It sure is. And of course, those of you that are tuned in on Flow, we welcome each and every one of you on behalf of JDV Productions for this afternoon's special event. Another stop, the 3rd annual Granite State Derby 150 laps. Nobody knows what to anticipate. The one thing we do know is it's a different form of asphalt on the track itself, but will it be a whole different strategy that comes into play? We'll talk about tire management coming up. Little different situation. We've seen this event go from green to checker before, Joe. We know that. Will it happen today? We're not sure.
Not sure. There are so much new here with this new pavement, new tires, new strategy, new line around this racetrack. Drivers have called it tricky. Getting down into turn 1, we saw a couple of cars spin in practice today. I think they're going to have to be up on the wheel, and I think as the race goes on, that chrome horn is going to come into play if you want to be able to get to victory lane today.
I agree. When I talked to Justin Bonsignore, he told me turn 1, pretty much the same. Turn 2, a little bit different. Tricky part of the racetrack is turn number 3. If you get one of the wheels up on that burr at the bottom of the racetrack, it sends the car up half a lane. That half a lane could be a big factor.
You get a look at some of the track facts here at Monadnock Speedway. Winchester, New Hampshire, typical New England town. They had a farmer's market downtown today on the drive-in.
It's famous for the pickle fest.
It was beautiful.
Yes.
1971, they opened up the racetrack, that same asphalt, until this winter when they laid down this new pavement. Quarter of a mile, 18 degrees of banking in one turn, 16 in turns 3 and 4. Nickname, the Mad Dog.
Sure is. And no 2 turns are the same on this racetrack. When we talked to Norm Wren earlier, he said his reason for repaving was to take some of the bumps out, but more important, to create a faster Monadnock. We know by looking at the times that has been the case here today.
The field is staged, ready to go. Drivers strapping in.
When is
Final
trucks 8
preparations
p.m.? We got an
being
hour
made.
and a
The crew
half.
members with the air tanks after making
gotta
those air pressure adjustments,
act
making
really
their way
quickly
back to the pit
to
area,
switch
which is located
streams.
over the top of the hill, down the other side of it, and through turns 1 and 2 back in the paddock area. But Ben, as you described, they will not need it here today. Let's take a quick look before we get going. Some of the keys to the race. Protect the right rear tire. This racetrack is always pretty abrasive on that, but the teams have told us that not so much today with the new pavement, and you've got to be easy with the throttle.
You have to be. And of course, we said before, the unknown factor is the new pavement. This is the longest distance that any division has went on the new pavement here today.
Well, Ben, the stage is set. The horses have pulled into the gate. The jockeys are on the saddle. It's time to go.
All right. Engines fired.
The horses are chomping at the bit, Joe. It is now time. Get ready, the moment of intensity. Every rider strapped in and anticipating. In just a few short moments, they'll kick those spurs full throttle right through the bottom of the carburetor to get enough giddy up to become the Granite State Derby winner of the most prestigious stop, the first of the short track traditions here as JDV Productions is proud to present this afternoon's event.
And the first of a triple crown of events here for the Whelen Modified Tour this season. 3 stops, the Granite State Derby, the Duel at the Dog, the Winchester Fair, $20,000 in bonus purse money in addition to the race-winning purse as part of the Whelen Granite State Short Track Cup. Whelen Engineering employees here from New Hampshire in the crowd today. Beautiful sun pouring over this Monadnock Speedway, glistening on that new pavement, and the field ready to go here for the 3rd annual Granite State Derby. What a day this has turned out to be. I think this is going to be one of the most fascinating races that we have seen in a long time in modified racing here at this racetrack. So much intrigue coming into this one.
It certainly is. The front straightaway here is totally under the sunlight as the parade of cars head down into turn number 1 and into turn 2. Down the backstretch, a little bit of shade there as the field will be correcting itself in the proper starting lineup. Jimmy Wilson in charge of the competition from out of the paddock area with a full team of staff on the Whelen Modified Tour. You know, today we also want to mention, Joe, 2 individuals that are not with us for this afternoon's presentation that were a part of our Whelen Modified Tour family. Glenn Dixon was one of those very special people that was one of the guys behind the scenes. Very sadly, Glenn passed away this past week. And a few weeks back, Mike Davini, who campaigned a car at Richmond with Marcello Rufano behind the wheel. Those are 2 of the individuals that are near and dear to all of our hearts. But now, as we look the field over, as they head off turn number 4, there's no, odds-on advantage going into this one. Nobody knows exactly what to expect for 150 circuits on the quarter mile.
Well, the teams will do 5 pace laps here to get these cars up to speed, warmed up, and ready to go. You look back through the record books, and 9 out of the last 10 races here at Monadnock Speedway have been won from the front row.
That is correct.
But we've got a different scenario today. The fastest car on the property, Matt Hirschman, after the redraw, will start 7th. And that Baker-owned number 60, the yellow and red car that Matt Hirschman is here. He's here for the money. He's here for the Granite State Short Track Cup.
Now
Whelen provides the backing there, and that's why Matt Hirschman campaigned with these 3 races. He is the only Granite State Short Track Cup champion in the field. Won it in the inaugural season back in 2022. Last year was a 7 New York team. Doug Kobe, Tommy Baldwin in that group that captured that crown. And who is going to be next as it all starts right now?
It sure does. You know, there's also another side note. Car number 60. Remember, Matt Hirschman has always competed with Troyer race cars. Today, car number 60 is an LFR chassis. Different combination. Something that Matt knows about, but he doesn't necessarily have the feel for. But today, with Matt Hirschman's talent, he'll be expected to be right up front in the competition here.
You have to look at that front row, though. Anthony Cecily, Stephen Kopchik,
A bit of information
back
on
together
the
for
track
the first
itself,
time here
because
this
I'm
season,
assuming
working together.
people are
He's got that
unfamiliar
car
with
qualified
qualified
second, redraw first.
Well,
He'll start on the bottom.
well,
Tommy Catalano and this team have
you're
had
watching
a
this,
great
you probably know
season,
the
but
tracks.
these
But anyway,
short track races have
it's a
not
quarter
been
mile,
their strength. Their
18
strength has
degrees
been
in
on
the
the
first
big
turn,
tracks, the
16
New
degrees
Suburtas,
in
the
the other
Richmonds, the
2.
Thompsons, but they have shown strength with all those cars here, and they've got a car that's starting on the front row.
Let's take a look at that second row. A former champion of the Whelen Modified Tour, John McKennedy, comes back with his own deal, his own operation. And then, of course, Craig Lutz outside of that second row. Lutz now returned to this team, has had a tremendous start so far, but has come up a little shy. He'll be starting in the second row.
1 lap to go when the field comes around. They'll see the green next time through. The crowd here at Monadnock on their feet, getting ready to see 150 laps of the Whelen Modified Tour. The Toyota Pace Truck will head for
let's
cover.
get ready to
They'll
do
roll
this.
through turns 1 and 2, and the go time is now. The gate's about to open. Anthony Cecily down low.
All right.
Tommy Catalano on the front row after the redraw.
They head down into turn number 3. All
All
of
right.
the riders are on their
It'll be
stride.
150
Ladies and
laps,
gentlemen,
I'm
the
pretty
Granite
sure,
State
around
Derby
this quarter
is
mile
set
here in New
green
Hampshire.
from the
We are
highway
green
of
at Monadnock.
Green flag out, and Anthony Cecily quickly jumps out in front from the bottom lane.
Cecily takes the lead. And Kennedy on the bottom trying to get past Trevor Catalano, and he'll get the spot. Oh, we got a car that's way out of the groove already. Nearly spins. We don't know which one that was. Hirschman losing two spots. He got 3 wide. And there goes Bonsignor to his inside. The new chassis not working well for Hirschman.
Hirschman backs up the racetrack just in front. It is
Let me tone this down a bit.
51, running the tire track of the number 16 for Ronnie Silk. Back up front.
All right, the 2 title drivers, Charlie Bonsignor and Silk, separated by 1 spot. Well, actually, there's a car between them is what I meant. And Silk leading the points right now. He's now to the inside of the 46 of Craig Lutz. Ooh, Kennedy trying to get to the inside of Cecily, not able to get there. Kennedy hasn't won a race since his title run in 2022. Now it's 3 cars between Bonsignor and Silk. Silk is made up to 6.
He's back in fifth. Meanwhile, back up front, John McKennedy looks to the bottom, car 79. Pulls it back into the line. Cecily still the leader of the pack.
Kennedy continuing to bog down Cecily. Behind him, I believe that's Patrick Emmerling? Yes, it is. Then Jake Johnson and Ron Silk was up to 5th place. McKennedy dives to the inside, but he's still unable to get to Cecily. I say that. Jake Johnson looks to the inside of Patrick Emmerling. And the number 3 car for Bowler Racing. Bonsignor, now just 2 cars separate him and the 16. Emmerling forced to the outside. Jake Johnson not letting him go. It looks like there's quite a bit of contact there. Come on, someone get past. The track audio is louder than the announcers, which is a problem. Emmerling manages to hold up the charge and clear himself and clear back in front of Jake Johnson. So I wonder where did so there's like now we got a visual of it was a brief visual of Hirschman. I believe he's in 11th now. He's in 11th. He's behind Trevor Catalano and Tommy and who was that? It was Tommy Catalano that just got yeeted out of the way. Catalano started 2nd out of the draw, but he's fallen way back since the start of the race. He hasn't been able to clear. It looks like he's going to get passed by the 25. I think was that Brian Roby. And then there's Anthony in the cellar and Austin Beers behind. Roby does get past Tommy Catalano. There's so many damn Catalanos.
Keep your eyes on Austin Beers in.
There's Trevor, Tommy, and Tyler.
White car to the inside. Now he's being pressured.
All right. Austin Beers got past. Next trying to get past is Matthew Kimball in the 43. He got it. And also there's the 5 of Kyle Ebersole. Tommy Catalano. It's a miserable start, and the caution is out. Car spun off. That is, yeah, 84, Tyler Catalano, who started the farthest back of the 3 Catalano brothers.
150, and Anthony Cecily has been the driver that's been out front the entire way. So Tyler Catalano going around. We'll see if he can get that car rolling once again. Now, we didn't talk about this when they rolled off, but there are no tires that these teams can change. So this is the first race we haven't had a pit stop come into play all season.
So 2 drivers already getting lapped. Yeah, the 0-1 and Melissa Feifeld. So I guess free pass, I think. Then I forget if modifieds have free passes. And Tyler Catalano.
And very well maintained by the Whelen Modified Tour officials and crews, which is backstage, back behind turns.
Also, caution laps do not
and the
count.
gentleman who's covering the action there is Pete Falcone. Pete Falcone will be looking at it from that perspective and giving us the side stories.
Couple of drivers, if they come down pit road, Pete Falcone will have that covered for us just over the hill behind the pit grandstand here at Monadnock Speedway. But we are under the first.
Yeah, Feifeld gets the free pass.
Complete lap 25 here. Anthony Cecily right now leading the way in that number 19 car. Earlier today, Anthony described the speed of this racetrack. He said, when I rolled out onto the racetrack, I held my breath for the first 2 or 3 laps, how lightning fast it was with this new pavement. Now, they've had a team that has had a lot of turnover in the crew chief department. They ran New Smyrna without their core crew chief. They had a different combination at Richmond, a different combination at Thompson, but they partnered back up once again with Stephen Kopchik, and that was a combination that worked really well in the 2023 campaign, and the speed with that change was evident. They were fast all day today, qualified second, and got the pole on the redraw.
And I think you're going to see that team have a tremendous amount of success as time goes on. John McKennedy in the number 2 spot. Now, you talk about speed. This gentleman is a former super modified champion. The super modified.
I guess I'm wrong. Caution laps do count.
Overall, in open wheel modified style racing. Here they come, 2x2 side by side. We're about ready to go back to green. Anthony Cecily on the inside of the front row. John McKennedy on the outside.
You'll see here on this start how important it is going to be on the bottom. And as the race goes on, you might see drivers try to hold on to an odd number position, because we saw at the start how Tommy Catalano got stuck up there in the outside lane and he went backwards as a result. He's back in 17th after the drop of the green flag. When he came out on track, he started in the 2nd spot.
You were just looking at Matt Hirschman. He is back in the 10th position. So after the drawing position number 7, he has dropped back 3 positions, but as Joe had mentioned, he is on the outside. Green is out.
We're green again at Monadnock.
Continues to set the pace. Here comes Jake Johnson. The bowler number 3 car gets a good bite on
Cecily holding on to the lead, and Jake Johnson gives a bump to Anthony Cecily. He takes 2nd over McKennedy. The inside now for 3rd, it's Craig Lutz, and then Ron Silk trying to get through on John McKennedy as well.
Joe Silk is being patient, but he's looking racy in the top 5.
McKennedy gets 4th. He holds on to 4th. One of the cars that's stuck to the outside right now is Kyle Bonsignor, cousin of Justin. Looks like he's going to clear for the position. Or that he's going to try and race alongside Patrick Emmerling. Next spot.
With the number 16 car, Monsignor, hunted down by Catalano. Trouble out. He's got another car.
Another caution.
Car around the wrong way, midway down the back straightaway, pointing the opposite direction. It appears to be the Nate Wenzel.
81, Nathan Wenzel.
Left rear tire is down. You can see he
that thing is screwed.
81 to the outside Armco barrier.
Very interesting story surrounding that particular race car. He is a former champion competing here in the open wheel weekly divisions of competition. in the 1812 Peyton auto body car. For him, this was a rare opportunity. His dad competed here in years past, and he was looking nothing better. They brought the car in here in the world of tractor trailers and toter homes and big units assembled to head down into the paddock. They came in the old-fashioned way on a regular single car.
You got the car going somehow. That's screwed.
Like
They got no tires,
the left
so
front and the left rear, as the number 81 heads back to the paddock area.
We're making a pretty good effort to get that car back to pit lane. Amazing, he can even keep that car pointed in the correct
it's not.
direction.
Well, it's not pointed. It's skewed. Let me check chat real
Front
quick.
fairly locked up, the left rear really
nothing
not
else,
much,
okay.
but tattered rubber at this point, and he gets that car off the track.
All right, the 81 is off. That was the 1812. The 1812 auto body Troyer.
Where the cars exit the racetrack, we'll find where his crew was pitted and come to the attention to see if they can get that car repaired. But so quick to go laps down here when you're back, even under caution with the short quarter-mile distance of this racetrack.
It certainly is, and of course you're taking a look at it. Those of you watching on Flow, that is backstage here, we'll call it, where the cars go into the paddock area where they can make additional adjustments. But it looks like not a lot is going on. The damage might be a little more severe in the 1812 Peyton auto body car, so the young and talented Wenzel might be out of this event with only 37 laps and counting.
He'd be the first driver out. If they cannot get that car repaired, would finish 24th today. The last time we had a caution came out on lap 20, and it was Tyler Catalano who was involved. It looks like he will be the driver that will get the free pass and get back on the lead lap. That'll put everybody, with the exception of Nate Wenzel, of the 23 cars on track, back on the lead lap.
Yeah, so
Certainly will, and
Tommy,
as he said, you're looking back.
Tyler Catalano will get his lap back.
Is another one of the Catalano cars picking up at the rear of the field. This is the number 54 car. As Tommy picks up at the back of the pack.
Out of it, modified, disappointed with the way that their day ended. Trying to have a good clean run here today. Well, the pace truck is infield racked up here along back straightaway. Anthony Cecily continues to be the race leader. He has led from the drop of the green.
All right, here we go again.
The outside, and Jake Johnson and Craig Lutz will line up third, which has proved to be a pretty good start.
All right, we're green again at Monadnock. By the way, as this is going on, qualifying has been happening at Kansas. Ooh!
While he slides up the hill,
Ron Silk made it up to third.
Lutz moves to the inside.
Way ahead of Bonsignor.
Silk puts the car to the bottom, drifts up just a bit. He now moves into the third spot. All that's been happening. Meanwhile,
Oh!
the outside
Emerling looks like he almost spun out.
with that number 79 car. Once Lutz broke through the black number 46 car, he has been able to wheel up front. There's McKennedy.
Kennedy got really screwed.
Car 79. He is in a battle and struggling as Patrick Emerling runs to the inside. Just in front of them, that yellow and red car is Matt Hirschman.
And that car, Matt Hirschman, is so quick on the racetrack, he's not even pick up any spots. Ryan Rogan, 25, his car starting to come to life as he goes on the attack against the 79 of John McKennedy. They are starting to get pretty dicey back there. We talked at the start of the roll-off that you may need to use your chrome horns. These drivers running here, and the edge are outside the top 10. They are starting to get impatient. We come up on 45 laps, complete 46 this time by, and there's one car up the hill. It's Trevor Catalano up.
Trevor Catalano did spin off, but we're still green.
Now runs to the outside of Tim Conley's number 4. That's the battle you're looking at center stage of your screen. Back up front, leader. Brand new leader emerges.
Sorry, Craig Lutz took the lead in the meantime. So Flow Racing's cameras missed that too. And Ron Silk is going to get past Anthony Cecily too. And Jake Johnson.
Between first and second is an impressive one. Silk has moved back.
Hirschman's moved past some of the drama.
Jake Johnson has settled back in with the number 3 car. Behind them, once the leader of the event, Cecily.
7th.
Joe, he's dropped back to the bottom of the top 6.
He got shuffled out of line, but I think the car that may be most impressive right now is the car sitting second. Ron Silk has such drive, such launch off turn number 2. He gives the bumper to the back of Craig Lutz. That 16 car right now running in the second spot looks very, very good.
Certainly does. Very consistent and smooth. Watch him reel in. Taps to the back bumper. Looks to the outside. Can't do it. We're now looking further back into the field. Good speed shot as the field comes down. Down the back.
But with less than 100 to go, Ron Silk takes a dive to the inside of Craig Lutz and takes the lead. The points leader.
Third different leader of the event.
You can see him setting that pass up. Silk just rolls through turns 1 and 2 so easily. He was able to get to the back bumper of Craig Lutz and just drive underneath him at the entrance of turn 3. Already, Ron Silk able to start to extend by
He's finished top 5 in every single race thus far.
Certainly is. Another car to keep your eyes on is the 22 of Kyle
Bonsignor.
It's setting back in the 4th position. Car 22 coming towards the front of the field as well, running directly behind the number 3 car of Jake Johnson. That's the Lynch Propane Plus machine. Back up front, leader of the pack coming up on a lap traffic car. Off turn number 4, Melissa Fifield about to go down a lap again.
Last time through,
I genuinely don't understand how
Kyle Bonsignor jumped the curb and nearly lost the handle.
Pass the 0-1.
And Melissa Fifield, though, a little out of shape right in front of the race leaders. Everybody able to get around it, nearly collecting Craig Lutz. Everyone goes to the outside lane. Fifield slow on the bottom. They're still scrambling to get by her. Too wide now. Timmy Salamino charging in off cream. But boy, it got dicey up front there a moment ago.
It certainly did. Salamino, remember, early in the event, he got crossed up. Now, it is Anthony Nocella that just made a little bit of contact with Melissa Fifield. John McKennedy's car is backing up. McKennedy's car heading
McKennedy is off track.
John McKennedy's day might be
Damn.
over.
Well, there goes McKennedy.
61 laps in, John McKennedy to the pit area here at Monadnock Speedway.
That sucks. McKennedy, ever since his team Lepine Racing went kablooey, I mean, he's only been able to come back for a couple of starts. It's just a shame.
Here's second place Craig Lutz, who's getting pressure from Jake Johnson in the 3.
Now, Jake Johnson cut his teeth at the Seacon Speedway. Different type of a short track.
Well,
doesn't have the banking that we have here at Monadnock Speedway, but Jake Johnson is running directly in the tire tracks of Lutz. Lutz will take a peek. He's got a little different line, Joe, as he goes off turn number 4 than the leader, Ronnie Silk.
That was the line that Ron Silk had run. You watch Jake Johnson, he enters higher in turn 22.
getting around the 0-1 again.
Bottom of the racetrack, really on both ends. Johnson's trying to use that same momentum where he can turn underneath on exit, but he's just not close enough right now.
Keep your eyes on Kyle Bonsignor. That's the neon white numerals and gray number 22 car. The car has been prepared by Cam McDermott. That car is looking good. Meanwhile, you just got a glimpse of the battle shaping up for that bid as they work their way through heavy traffic. Now, traffic has become a big factor, but for Silk, it has worked to his advantage as he comes up on Tim Conley, the number 4 car.
81 to go. So and next time that'll be 80 to go.
An outstanding athlete, football player, took a lot of time off to raise his kids and family, came back to the sport in his mid-60s as the poster child. You're never too old.
Just behind the 22 car of Kyle Bonsignor is the 32 of Tyler Rickman. He was about 14th in practice earlier today. He was not happy at all. They took a big swing at that car in time for the feature. And he has said over and over that these short tracks he struggles at. And today's race starts 3 short tracks in a row. Tyler Ripkema in that 32 doing a nice job at making the best of a track that they are typically not all that good at, running 5th.
You know, you wouldn't know it, Joe, as you're watching him, because he has worked his way up in contention and doing a good job here. Let's look a little further back. There's the 1 car of Patrick Emmerling. And there's another young talent, Austin Fears, with the number 64 car.
Beers off to a rocky start this season. Trouble at Richmond, crashed out there while running inside the top 5 early on. But that 64 car has spent a lot of time racing at Mountain Speedway in Pennsylvania, and that experience would help him at a track like this. But he qualified poorly today, back in 17th, and he's been trying to make up for that since we dropped the green flag.
Bonsignor just out of the top 10. And that, of course, is Justin Bonsignor. Good battle going around Melissa Fifield again.
Bell, Christopher Bell wins the cup pole.
Behind Kyle Bonsignor. And then Anthony Cecily trying to make a run for it and a comeback. Took a peek to the outside. There's Jake Johnson in the 3 car, the Lynch Propane Plus car.
There's the 32 of Rick DeVoe we were talking about a little while ago.
All right.
It's
by, it'll be
If you have any doubt that this race
70 to go.
is not fast, Joe, look at where we are on the scoreboard. We are past the halfway marker.
Why 150 laps? This could go by. This be done in less than 45 minutes.
Yeah, inside of 70 laps.
Make it 200 like Riverhead.
At Monadnock Speedway, quarter-mile track, things happen fast, and everybody starting to get used to this. That new pavement starting to rubber up quite a bit. There's the chrome horn. Tyler Ripula into the back of Kyle Bonsignor trying to move forward, but so far nobody has had the pace, not only here today, but all season long to match.
This would be Ronnie Silk's. Ron Silk's going for. I think what he's going. Oh, we got Kyle Bonsignor off the pace.
A puff of smoke. We see some damage done to the back end of the machine, and let's see what's going to happen. Bonsignor is looking to head back to the paddock area. What a tough break. He was contending strong up in the front pack of cars. Kyle Bonsignor's day will
All right, Kyle Bonsignor out.
with success in the Granite State Derby.
And the frustration for that team has to boil over. I mean, they were so excited with the car that they brought here at this racetrack. They felt very optimistic, showed speed on the racetrack, but the caution is out. And that'll be the 3rd caution of the 3rd annual Granite State Derby at Monadnock Speedway as the sun begins to set over the back straightaway here at this beautiful New Hampshire facility.
You know, it appears that the caution came out. Perhaps they're looking to check the racing surface. We did see that Kyle Bonsignor's car slowed. We saw a puff of smoke, and then all of a sudden he tried to limp the car back down into the paddock area. So 88 shows now up on the board.
So Tim Connolly will get the free pass.
We'll see the 22 car. We saw the damage on the back of that car, the sail panel, as it came by us here along the start-finish line. Getting down into turn 1, we saw Ripkema in the 32. They were having a great battle for position.
Now,
number 4.
Keep your eyes. There was something let go. And all of a sudden,
it blew.
He did the right thing, pulled to the top side of the racetrack. Tyler Ripkema and his spotter get the I Done Good award because they were able to maintain and be able to keep going without no damage in a situation that could be a costly situation. So Ronnie Silk, as we said, 3 different leaders of the event. Greg Lutz has been hanging around with him in the 2nd spot. And Joe, let's talk about earlier this season, we've seen Craig Lutz in this position at New Smyrna. We saw him at Richmond. We even saw him at Thompson. But he has been unable to close the situation because literally he has not had the best of luck.
Well, sometimes it's a little bit of luck. I mean, he led 80 laps at New Smyrna from the pole, but he came home 12th. He came home 7th at Richmond, 6th at Thompson. And then he comes to this track. We talk about the short track cup. Well, how about 3 of them, right? You go from here, then you go to Riverhead, then you go to Seekonk. So 3 small tracks after we ran some of the bigger tracks in New Smyrna, Richmond, and Thompson Speedway as a red flag comes out for what is likely fluid on the racetrack from the Kyle Bonsignor machine. But here's the thing with Craig Lutz. Craig Lutz is from Miller Place, New York. Not far from the Riverhead Raceway, the tight bull ring that many of the drivers in the field here have a lot of experience at. Guys like Timmy Salamito, Justin Bonsignor, and others on track. But he never really raced there. He raced a little bit at Waterford Speed Bowl, but he really cut his teeth on the big tracks. Thompson Speedway running in the SK Modified division. And when you see a guy from Long Island that lives right down the street from Riverhead Raceway, you think, oh, he must be a bull ring short track guy. Craig Lutz is not. This is not his style of racetrack.
He's had success at the Stafford Speedway before. He has also had success, as you said, at those race facilities as well.
All right,
as you
put out
look
Speedy
at the
Dry.
field, as they are stopped on the backstretch,
Red
you see,
flag.
of course, no surprises here.
I'm gonna go get some water.
16 car at the front of the field. You see Lutz in second, and then it is young Jake Johnson. Now, remember, Jake Johnson is behind the wheel of the Bowler family number 3 car. There is so much history and so much pressure. When we did the broadcast for Richmond, we told the story how Jake Johnson, as a youngster, had a model, a little Matchbox car of the number 3. And he said, someday, I'm going to drive that car. That dream came to remission, and we're witnessing it here today. It isn't a surprise to anyone that Jake Johnson continues to carry that torch forward.
We've seen over the past 2 seasons of the Whelen Modified Tour, this team has had a series of drivers. Brian Narducci won, Donnie Leah won, Jake Johnson won. But this year they went in a different direction, and they said, we're going to run full-time. We're going to put all our focus in the NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour. We're not going to do other things, and we're going to put that focus in with one driver, in Jake Johnson. And that extra bit of focus is, I really think, what's making the big difference. You talk about professional athletes, and oftentimes their skill, their strength is near the same. The difference comes in the mental and the focus and the ability to execute on game day, or in our case of NASCAR, on race day. And that Jake Johnson, the Fournier group, Scotty Richards, the entire team, Old Blue, the Bowler Racing family, they've got that focus, and I think that's really one of the reasons why they're running well.
I agree with you on that situation. You know, as we're looking down at the order that they were running before the caution came out, Brian Roby, who is back in the 13th position, is a gentleman that had 13 victories here at the Speedway before the asphalt was changed. And then he came to opening day and he won the first event of the 2024 season.
We are 89 laps in. Red flag is out for the 3rd annual Granite State Derby. Ron Silk leads the way.
Still red? What the?
Going to make sure they're in the correct orders as they may. And now the final. And let's go quickly, head down to the paddock area with Pete Falcone. Pete?
All right, well, good thing I fixed that.
We will
Big Butler of oil here with the number 22, Kyle Bonsignor, who had a great run going, but obviously it's a tough one for this afternoon. They had to put down a lot of speedy dry, and the oil actually followed him all the way in here. So out early, very dejected. In fact, we couldn't get a chance to talk to him, and they're about to put the car on jack stands and figure out exactly what happened underneath this number 22. Meanwhile, a whole bunch of cars here on pit road. We'll keep an eye on it.
Well, a heartbreaking situation for them. You know, we were talking about Jake Johnson. We had an opportunity earlier today to talk with him about what to anticipate in this event.
Oh, the Kentucky Derby just happened, and I've been told there was a 3-wide photo finish. I know that or
For
something.
the 32 car of Tyler Ripkema was running 4th at the time. His car back behind pit lane as well. See Tim Conley behind the pace truck, looking to be the pass here, ahead of the race leader Ron Silk. So
Racing Series
one to go
copying
signal
each
will be
other.
given at the start finish line. Conley will go past the pace truck and rejoin the tail end of the field. We'll stack them up this way as we get back underway after the red flag and the third caution of the day here today. Ron Silk, race leader. Craig Lutz to the outside. Jake Johnson at the bottom. Anthony Cecily 4th. And how about Matt Hirschman? He's back in the mix.
He certainly is. He's on the inside of that 3rd row. Outside of him, we haven't talked much about the one again, but it's resurfaced as well. Green, 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 and we're racing.
All right, we're back again.
Here is Silk, side-by-side bid for 2nd. Lutz and Jake Johnson on the inside. Great speed shot down the front straightaway. Jake Johnson moves back into 2nd. Lutz settles back into 3rd. Side-by-side battle. Here comes Matt Hirschman.
Opportunity now for Matt Hirschman to see if he can pick up a couple of spots here in the late going. 55 to go as they hit the back straightaway. Hirschman working bottom. Yellow, red, number 60 underneath Anthony Cecily, who's still inside the top 5 and having a great day.
Well, all that's been happening directly behind Hirschman. Here comes Austin Beers, white and green car. To the inside, to the outside is Patrick Emerling. 4 cars in a swept pack. Right there. Here comes Hirschman.
I wish I watched the Kentucky Derby.
And Matt Hirschman continues to hold on to position number 5. Cecily is stuck in the outside.
But you know what? I'm
lane.
watching modified.
And now,
No problem.
Austin Beers, car 64. White car to the inside of your screen.
Beers picking up spots up front. Don't take your eye off the race lead, though, because Jake Johnson is putting the bumper to Ron Silk, and he is putting some heat on him, trying to see if he can get his first ever Whelen Modified Tour victory. Silk not able to drive away from Jake Johnson. Johnson trying to set him up off turn 4, looks to the bottom. He'll sail it.
Jake Johnson trying to make a move. He's in 2nd place.
Remember earlier we saw that Jake Johnson made a little bit of a stutter step, gathered it back. Now, further back, we just saw a shot. Anthony Nacella, he's working his back.
Tries to make another move to the bottom in the inside of Ron Silk. Here he goes now. He bumped out of the way down the back stretch. It's not clear yet. Now he is. Jake Johnson to the lead at Monadnock.
Good today, be today for Jake Johnson. He still has a third of this race left to go, but he powers by Ron
Less
Silk.
than
Behind
50
them,
to go.
He's on the move, goes underneath his neighbor on Mud Lane in Northampton, Pennsylvania. Matt Hirschman going backwards. Austin Beers going forward.
There's no question about it. Austin Beers had a terrible qualifying run.
But he's
turned
now
the
up to
slowest
4th.
first lap of
Where'd he
anyone
start?
in the field,
18th?
But he backed it back to
17th.
a good 2nd lap. Now he's into the top 4. Sly Zabin and Ron Newhouse have found something with the number 64 car, now up to position number 4.
Battle up front is not over yet because Ron Silk is closed back into the back bumper of Jake Johnson. His car tended to be good a little bit deeper into a run, and Ron Silk's car starting to come back to
Top
life.
2 kind of pulled away now. Ron Silk trying to get back at Jake Johnson.
Now 5 car lengths back to 3rd.
There's no question about it. Those 5 car lanes are tough to make up, but at these speeds, we're witnessing just that. Lutz back in the 3rd spot with car number 46. Here again is Silk. Reeling him in. Looks to the inside. Melissa Fifield is there. The move that could have gave him the advantage is all but gone. Sneak peek. Can't do it. He'll look to the bottom.
Here comes Ron Silk, exactly how he
These are
took
the
lead
top
the
2
first time.
at
He's
Thompson.
setting up off turn
And
number 2.
Silk trying to
Now
make
he
back to the
pulls
bottom.
back
Do the
with
same
Jake
move that Johnson put on him, but Johnson won't let him by.
You were right.
Johnson, by the way, still looking for his first modified Ford
Has a
victory.
little stronger of a car. He gets momentum. but that doesn't defer Jake Johnson, who's still the leader.
Less than 40 to go.
Now driving away, you look at the rear view mirror, saw what Ron Silk was doing, and he's doing that exact same thing to take away the race lead. Everybody else pouring on the steam down into turn 3. The 25 of Brian Roby inside the top 10, continuing to have a good day in his home state.
He certainly has. He has been silent but deadly in this event. Meanwhile, Lutz tries to shake off another youngster, and that is Austin Beers. Beers has reeled him in. Lutz continues to guard the spot. Here comes Beers. Puts 2 tires down to the inside. Thinks twice of it. Tries across.
Battle for third is what's going on here. Beers moves to the inside. Craig Lutz throws the lock.
Austin Beers had a similar car at the end of the Winchester Fair last September. His car came on strong at the end, trying to track down Justin Bonsignor. That day it was too little too late. He's got to get by Craig Lutz.
Beers gets by. He's in third.
To be able to get by the race leader, Johnson and Silk in second.
There's no question about it. It is Beers now. He's quickly made
Got 34 to go. Can the 64 make up the distance? It's like half a straightaway distance.
Second and third. All of a sudden, right of your screen, back up front. Here's Silk again.
No.
Fans are loving
Second.
it.
Around the 0-1 again.
Continues to be
Silk
right
trying to
there
find a way around.
in the way.
Not able to get it with
As
that
they
car.
work their magic, we've got
Oh, we got a spin. Kyle Ebersol.
Who has spun between turns 3 and 4. And I think that was the last thing that Ron Silk wanted to see, because he's going to have to start on the outside when we get the green flag.
Certainly is. And as we said before, Ebersol now moving to the state of New Hampshire. He lived in Charlotte for a while. He worked fabricating on the Cup Series.
These 2 cars almost came together there.
Yes, they did.
Ebersol tried to make her way up the racetrack. Melissa Fifield had a slam on the brakes, and now her car doesn't seem like it wants to fire. It still sits between turns 3 and 4, and the field continues to roll on past to the bottom, so she will go another lap down. Let's we're going to reset this here for a second.
Oh no, let's
There's
just
Melissa
fight.
Fifield
So
0-1.
also spun.
This is the 4th caution of the day, this time coming out here, and we've got 122 laps showing up on the scoreboard. The target today, 150, in the 5 car, bringing out the caution in turns 3 and 4. Let's go back to Richmond.
Yep.
And let's go back to what happened in turn 3 early on in the race. Jake Johnson was trying to put a move on Austin Beers, and Austin Beers went up into the outside wall, hit that wall very hard in turn 3. It ended his day and really was part of the season that went in the wrong direction. When they restart this next time by, Jake Johnson will be on the inside in the 3 car. He's going for his first Whelen Modified Tour victory. The car right behind him, the 64 car, Austin Beers.
And will that be a situation like we've seen in the past, or will it be something completely different? We've got a look further back in this as well, as we are seeing things to settle in. Surprisingly enough, the 51 car has surfaced now at the bottom of the top 10 in the 8th position. Brian Roby in the 9th spot, and Timmy Solomito recovering from an early altercation where he got wide up in the turn, almost like the car perhaps jumped out of gear or something, and was able to gather it back. He's come a long way to get back in contention here.
Yeah, uncharacteristic for the 51 team. Started 12th today of Justin Bonsignor, 5-time winner, most of any Whelen Modified Tour driver here at this racetrack. Has really been a non-factor today, and I can't remember the last time I said that in a Whelen Modified Tour race.
You're so right. And of course, he has won events at this racetrack where he led green to checker, and there was no cautions in the event. So a lot of history that surrounds that situation there.
25 laps to go when they get the green flag. Now, we've seen last year, you go back to the race at Riverhead, how aggressive Ron Silk will be. And he will do what it takes to win. That's why they have that 16th car. Jake Johnson has never
Gonna
won
restart
before. We
with
don't
24
know what
laps
he will
to go.
do in this position. And Austin Beers, is there any payback for Richmond? Sitting there in the 3rd spot. Green flag is out.
All right, let's do it again. We're green at Monadnock. Johnson back to the up front.
But look out, here comes Ron Silk. Pedal to the metal. Down into turn number 3.
They're trying to power it high off the top, but Jake Johnson holding on.
The turn like a rocket. Here comes Austin Beers. now working over Ron Silk.
All right.
Did not get the start he needed. He needed to
Whoa!
get
Oh, we got a spin with Anthony Cecily. Bonsignor almost lost it. The caution.
Cecily goes around.
Is that gonna come back out? Yep, we got a caution.
Didn't look like any severe contact there, as things were just starting to get settled back in.
He'll race to stay on the lead.
Bonsignor was 30 degrees the wrong way, and he corrected it.
Position at the moment. So for Austin Beers, he got lucky here. I think getting a second shot at it because that restart, he gave that one away with Johnson and Silk getting away with it. And if he wants to be a factor, he's got to be there. Let's take a look at what happened up in turns 3 and 4 to bring us under our 5th caution.
Here they are. And this is the situation with the 19 car. Anthony Cecily, what a nice save by Justin Bonsignor. He got on the binders, then threw the car to the bottom and was able to come on by. Cecily, the early leader of the event.
It was contact from Bonsignor that sent Cecily sideways.
Yep. And Cecily gets it fired back up. 130 now showing up on the board. And you're right, even though this is a do-over situation, it is crucial. What do you think that is going on with those competitors that are in that front pack of 4? This restart is going to be crucial.
Well, I think they're talking about how strong Ron Silk was on the outside. He was the only driver who was all day on the outside line able to hang on and keep pace with the car on the bottom, and he was nearly side-by-side off turn number 2. Ron Silk won the race at Thompson last time out. How'd he do it? He beat Patrick Emmerling on a restart. He's one of the best in the business. He's a 2-time champion, but he doesn't have any wins here at this racetrack. And last year, one of the keys to his championship was checking the box on racetracks he had not won at before, and those are the wins that launched him to a 2nd crown. And they have that in the top of their mind. In 2 races this season, he's already gone to victory lane. He's looking for his 3rd victory in that 16 car, and he is fierce behind the wheel.
He certainly is, and you saw example of that as we went back to green. Now, the sun has went behind the clouds here, and things have changed in the setting just a moment as well.
I have a feeling we have not seen our last caution of the day, because this is about to go full throttle here. They'll get the 1 to go signal this time through. You got Jake Johnson bottom, Ron Silk up top, Austin Beers, Craig Lutz on the bottom.
Behind that, Matt Hirschman making up the next row. Justin Bonsignor now emerged in the top 6. Emmerling back in 7th. And Timmy Salamito all the way back up to the top 8.
Time to go to the whip. Green flag goes out, and Jake Johnson much better this time by as he is able to get ahead.
All right,
Ron
green
Silk.
again.
Silk hangs in there on the outside lane.
Whoa, Ron Silk hit the outside wall. Oh, glory hell. And that's going to destroy his race, and he's going to lose the point lead. Oh, man, that was an unforced error. Oh, my God.
Down the back wall, you can see the black mark on the Arco barrier. Another car on line, Ken Lano, car number 56. Gathered it back.
That's, yeah, 56, that's
back up
Tyler,
front.
that's Trevor.
Jake Johnson still the leader. Craig Lutz still in 2nd. Austin Beers is 3rd.
Oh my God! Well, that's one way to lose a lot of spots. All right, Bonsignor in P6. He's gonna gain as they run. He's gonna gain 9 positions. That would give him the point lead. Oh, we got another. Never mind. Another caution or. Okay, we're still good. 12 to go. It's Jake Johnson versus Craig Lutz. But really, Craig Lutz is a while back, and Austin Beers trying to make the move for P2. Here we go. That's 2.5 miles.
Here comes Beers now.
Top 5, Jake Johnson, Craig Lutz, Austin Beers, Matt Hirschman, and Patrick Emmerling.
Make it 6 cars now as Brian Roby.
Johnson is way out front. Beers been really bumpery, and he tries to rub Craig Lutz out of the way. Beers to P2. Can he chase down the sophomore driver?
Johnson on the back straightaway. He's 1.5 seconds ahead of Austin Beers.
Here comes Patrick Emmerling.
He's trying to get around Matt Hirschman for
Now
P4.
on the inside of Matt Hirschman.
Just trying to check their wins count.
Hirschman continues to dig hard. Patrick Emerling on the bottom. Meanwhile,
So close to touch.
Emerling
Well, there they do catch. Wheel contact.
closes his head.
And Emmerling's going to get P4. Can Bonsignor follow that?
And he is able to make that stop.
Trying to give a bit of the bumper there.
Forward.
6
Now
to go.
Austin Pierce is quick.
5 to go. That's
Now
1
Austin up.
and
He's
3.25 miles.
1.1 seconds now between first and second. 4 laps
Still
to
back
go.
at the 12th, so he'll hold on to his points lead.
Patrick Emerling and Matt Hirschman. Let's talk about Jake Johnson, though. 3 laps to go. The last time Old Blue won a race in the Whelen Modified Tour, it was 7 years ago. It was 2017. Rowan Pennick was driving the car that day. Jake Johnson has been sensational. He's run part-time seasons the last 2 years, but today could be the day for Jake Johnson. He'll roll through turns 3 and 4. Come off
2 to go.
White flag.
Or now white flag is out. Last lap at Monadnock. Yes, the scoreboard is lagging. The sophomore driver ready to take it home for career win number 1. The car in front of him has a bit of some cars have a problem right there. But here comes Jake Johnson.
From Monadnock Speedway.
Jake Johnson has
He
done
takes the
it.
checkered
This
flag.
race car, this
And
team,
Jake
the
Johnson
Bauer
is a
family.
winner in the
Jake
NASCAR
Johnson
Whelen Modified
has
Tour.
worked at it. He earned it.
And Flo
Every
needs a
step of the
way better
today.
camera work because they
He
cut away from him
proved
when he was crossing the
and Jake
finish
Johnson
line.
has now added his name to the list of Whelen Modified Tour winners. He wins the Granite State Derby. He's going to Whelen Modified Tour victory lane.
Certainly is. Austin Beers, an impressive run to finish in second. Patrick Emerling held on for third. Craig Lutz for fourth. Matt Hirschman to round out the top 5.
You look at 6th.
Okay, that does it for modifieds.
That team 7th. Brian Roby. Joey
Silk finishes P14. No,
No,
that's not right.
Anthony Nocella and Ron Silk.
The scoreboard's wrong. He finished 12th.
Certainly did.
So he'll
Timmy
lose
Solomito
6. I
finished
think I
11th.
finished 12th. He'll lose 6 points in the title fight. So that'll narrow it to a 2-point lead over Justin Bonsignor.
And Matt Kimball to round out the top
Unless
15.
Jake Johnson gains enough points than Bonsignor to move up even higher.
Melissa Fifield to your top 20. Unable to finish today. Tyler Ripken.
All right, anyway, that's the modified race, and it was done in less than an hour. All right, in 40 minutes, or 36 minutes, we're going to be back to action at Kansas Speedway. As now the first quarter of the modified tour schedule is complete. Let me just update with the final tallies. All right. Thank you all so much for those who came to watch. Obviously, modifieds are another new thing for me to cover, but I'm still glad that people are willing to come out. Hope to see you all in about a half hour. BowserJrXD signing off for now. Have a good one.